What's up guys, Derrick here from daysdesigns.com. In case you don't know, I'm an artist, graphic designer, and most importantly a logo designer and an illustrator. Me and Logo Inspirations have teamed up to bring you guys an awesome interview, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get to it. Alright, so turning point when I decided to become a designer. I want to say it wasn't really a turning point, but I guess it was at the same time, so I've been into art my whole life, ever since elementary school, and after high school, I kind of gave art a break. I took a break from it, and I wasn't really drawing or creating or sketching or anything like that. Then I started to get back into it, and then I also came across Photoshop. And one thing led to another. I was creating some designs here and there for my sister and some of her friends, and like logo designs, and I really thought logos were pretty interesting. They're really simple, but they're still pretty dope. They look pretty good, so I began to research into that, and then I guess if there was a turning point, it was kind of when I came across Aaron Drablin. I seen that he was a logo designer, and then I seen that he had worked with Vans in the past, on some kind of project, or they at least did like a creative interview about him. And that really got me hyped. It really sparked my interest on I guess some of the possibilities of logo design, just like graphic design in general. Once I seen that, I was like, okay, I really got to pursue this and just see where it takes me. Alright, so where am I from? I'm pretty much from the eastern shore of Virginia. It's a really very small place, kind of like a quiet country place. It seems like a place to be, if you're, where a lot of people go to kind of retire and take breaks, and it's just a really chill place to get away from the city and stuff like that. So if you're into that, I definitely recommend checking it out. So what does my day consist of? My day mainly consists of like waking up, eating oatmeal. I love oatmeal. It's like my favorite food meal of the day. And I usually do some kind of workout routine in the morning, whether it's like jumping rope, running, just like specific, weightlifting routine or anything like that. And I usually get straight to my emails. After I do my emails, I'll usually begin any client work that I have. If I don't have any, I'm usually creating some kind of I want to say self-promotion design, things like that. And I'm also getting into music production, so that's kind of like a side thing that I've been doing, or like a hobby, like late night. So that's one thing that I've been really looking forward to every day. So I want to say that's kind of like what the majority of my days consist of, so like a lot of design work, a lot of sketching, mascot logos specifically, and then I usually chill later on in the day and see what's up. Alright, so I've pretty much been making videos on YouTube for about 10 to 11 months now. It all started, I believe, last April. Yeah, last April I was on a trip to California. It was for, I want to say like a Ty Lopez conference. I think it was kind of like a marketing, business related conference, seminar, whatever you want to call it. And I was just out there, and I wanted to, I've been wanting to make YouTube videos for a while, so I figured I'd just go ahead and make one. The first video that I put up was like a speed art on a Grim Reaper mascot logo, and you guys can see that hopefully in the description, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so my most viewed video is a speed art of like a cyborg illustration, mascot logo, gaming logo, whatever you guys want to call it, doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's like the video with the most views on it. I'm not exactly sure how many it has at this point in time. You guys can check out that video, also linked in the description. Hope you guys enjoy that one too. Question number 6 about unique styles and things of that nature. Honestly, I want to say my style is unique, but not too unique. And when I say my style, it is a combination of other styles that I've came across. We're all, we all come from somewhere. Everything we create comes from something. So by no means am I saying I'm like the originator. I'm like the OG of like the style or logo designs that you see me creating, or nothing like that. I really just create, what I enjoy and what I've seen. A lot of my style has to do with being on the edgy side of things. When I was a lot younger, I was really into graffiti and street art and stuff like that. So, just like the graffiti styles, like thick lines, black thick lines, bold styles, you'll see that in basically all of my designs now. And that's basically where I'm moving more towards. I just really love that style, and it's something that I've been into for a while now. But I first got into that when I came across a few designers. This is when I was really just like researching logo designs, and I came across a style and I felt like it really matched up with like my skill set and just kind of like the vibe and style that I'm into. Again, just really bold outlines, black outlines, really edgy, just really dope stuff like that. And that's kind of how I began to like study that and then implement it into my work. And now I've kind of taken it and ran with it pretty much. Alright, so the first logo design that I ever created was for an old esports team of mine back in Black Ops 2. Our team name was Surpass, so S-U-R-P-A-S-S. You can check that out on YouTube, so if you look at that and then look for like some tournament footage, so just like type in Team Surpass, I think like Black Ops 2. There's some like tournament footage. I'll try to link that in the description for you guys to check out. So yeah, that specific video, if you pause it at 109, you'll see my player card. And so I mentioned my player card because I actually created the logo design inside of like the player card system in Black Ops 2, so like I did a quick sketch, thought it was pretty cool, and it's basically like an edgy, very pointy S inside of a circle, and I just remade it inside of the player card system and decided to use that, like my my previous teammate thought it was pretty dope, and I actually got, I would always get like people saying like, yo, who created that? Like, it looks pretty dope. So yeah, I was always like, creating stuff inside the Black Ops system, and like that's how my first logo was created. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that and the video too. If you guys do check it out, pretty sure we lost, but it was fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. By the way, I don't play esports anymore, or I don't, compete, but it was a great time. Alright, so the old Mac or PC question. Honestly, I was on PC for a while. I've never ever had a Mac. I'm not gonna say I just upgraded. I just moved over to the Mac, and I got the MacBook Pro Touch Bar. I've seen so many videos, everybody's saying, it's kind of not worth it, and just so you guys know, they're 100% true. So I do have the MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar. If I could go back, I would get the XPS, I think 15, the new one that just came out in 2017. I would go to that one. I bought this one mainly because it just looks so amazing, man. It's just so skinny, it's so clean. I love clean designs. If you look at my logos, clean, clean, clean. I hate overly detailed stuff, artwork, I don't care. So, like, it just visually, it's just very visually pleasing. It works pretty well, but again, if I could go back, I'd go to the XPS 15. I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna hate me for that, but it is what it is. Alright, so what software do I use most frequently, forever, and always? Adobe Illustrator. Honestly, like, Adobe Illustrator is my favorite program just because it's like a vector program. Like, it's just so clean, like it's vector, so you can zoom in close, close, close. Zoom in all the way, and that line is still perfectly straight. There's no pixelation, inside of the program. That is, obviously, when you save it as a JPEG or something like that, then it's pixels, raster based. So, but yeah, Adobe Illustrator, I spend so much time in it. I love it. Photoshop is dope too. I always have a lot of fun, but Adobe Illustrator, number one for me. Alright, so 3 important logo design tips. Honestly, this one's gonna be, more so based on my personal opinion, and the kind of things that I like seeing. But anyway, so tip number 1 would be make it bold. Tip number 2 would be make it clean. And then tip number 3 is to be sure to implement your personality in some kind of way, if possible, if the project calls for it. If you're doing spec work, then, doing work for your portfolio, it's not really for any specific clients, then by all means, try to implement as much personality as you can. And I say this because this is a great way to differentiate your portfolio from another's, your logos from another. It's a really great way to build a distinct brand, so to speak. So yeah, those are my 3 tips. Alright, so what is my process in designing a logo? So once I get all the paperwork out the way, me and the client, we know what's up, I know what their project is about, I know what they want. Everything's like that is out of the way. I usually create a mood board unless they've created one for me, and I begin to further research into like logo concepts and just like what they're looking for and stuff like that, and look for reference images, and then I finally begin sketching. I usually bang out some concepts. Once those are get the thumbs up on those, I move straight to Adobe Illustrator. Again, my favorite program. I spend so much time in there, just refining the concept, making sure everything is good to go. And once that is done, I bring everything over to Photoshop, the logo design, then I have some more fun, and I create like presentation images, just like cool images where I just have more fun with the logo design, so I use like the iris blur function, maybe the tilt and shift, adding some shading, some highlights, just to take the logo to a different level in comparison to the usual, flat background, flat logo, everything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much my logo process. Alright, so my daily inspiration when designing. So a lot of my inspiration can come from, Instagram, just seeing other designers doing awesome stuff that I enjoy. And, just like the basic motivation and inspiration for me personally is just a love for creating awesome things. I enjoy creating dope stuff, creating things that look awesome, that everyone enjoys, that people like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so my top 5 favorite logos from mankind all time. Alright, so 1 through 4 are all going to be skateboarding related. So I'll start with number 1. This is the Audio Footwear logo design. When I first got into skateboarding, I always loved these shoes, and for a while I couldn't really understand, but I think now looking back, I think it was because of the logo. I really loved the logo. It was always big on the side. Like if the shoe didn't have the logo, I didn't like the shoe. So, just like their basic, the Audio Footwear, the shoe had the big logo on the side, always wanted one. So that's the first one that I can really remember, like really enjoying that much. So yeah, that's number 1. My second favorite logo design has to be the Spitfire. I think it's the Firehead or the Big Firehead or something like that. So if you type in Spitfire logo on Google, you can check it out. So I actually have a shirt in my closet with the logo in front of it. Again, when I was really getting into skateboarding, I always loved the shirt. It just had the big logo on the front. It was just so clean and it just worked, so it's just really dope. And again, you'll notice it has a very bold outline. I've always been into that, and that's another reason why I really enjoy the Spitfire logo. My third favorite logo is the Element, Element Skateboards logo design. So again, go to Google, type it in, Element Skateboards. It's super thick, it's bold, it's simple and clean. It has a pretty cool meaning behind it. It always looks good, when enlarged on the bottom of skateboards, on the front of shirts and things like that. So number 3 for me. Number 4 for me has to be the Girl Skateboards OG logo design. So if you guys check that out, one thing you'll notice that is basically a woman's restroom icon. It's so dope in my opinion. Looking back, I didn't really know much about logo designs when I first came across. I just noticed that was like a symbol they used for their company. And I just thought it was such a courageous move on their part, just because it is like a girl or a women's restroom icon. And it fits their brand name so perfectly. It's just girl, so GIRL. So I just thought it was a perfect fit, and it's just really dope and different. Also, again, it looks super great. It looks super dope, like on the front of shirts. I always wanted just like a basic plain shirt with the girl logo, the women's restroom icon on it. And same thing with their skateboards. It just looks fantastic. It looks, dope, clean, perfect, different on the bottom of a skateboard. Number 5 for me has to be the Astro Gaming logo, specifically the A letter mark. And I say this as number 5 is because it's like the first logo design that I really remember that really sparked my interest and then sparked my curiosity for logo designs and creating them. I first came across them when I was playing Black Ops 1. One of the people I used to play with online, like he had just bought an Astro Gaming headset, and he decided to like recreate the logo design in his player card. And I remember he was always running the FAMAS. He had a silencer on it. He would usually use like the white, black, and gray camo on it. He would always put the Astro, the A lettermark logo on the side of it. I always just thought it was so dope. It was just like so clean, and it just really sparked my interest. And that's kind of like, I want to say like where the logo journey kind of began in a sense. So yeah, that's pretty dope. I wanted to add in a few more because these are, I was just doing some research on like old, skateboarding logos, and I seen these and I was like, man, I just can't leave them out. So in no specific order, the Famous Stars and Straps, the F letter mark, you guys check that out. I really love that one. The Fallen Footwear logo design, another great one. It's basically like a double F, so F pointing this way and that way, and they're together. I always thought it looked really dope on the bottom of the shoe, and it was always simple, plain, white and black. And another one has to be the Crew skateboarding logo, so that is spelled KR3W. Again, very simple, bold, and clean. And then another one has to be the Kai logo, so it's like a letter mark. If I could draw it, I think it's like this, something like that. or flip the other way around. And then my most recent favorite logo design has to be the Obey logo created by Shepard Fairey. I really love his art style and stuff like that, and the logo is super edgy, it's super bold, black, white, red, perfect. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoy those. Alright, so my favorite designer, if I had to choose one, has to be Aaron Draplin. You know, some of his logo designs, a lot of his work is just really dope. But for the most part, I really chose him as like a favorite designer, if any, because like his background in extreme sports. You know, I know he was big into snowboarding and stuff like that. I remember seeing like some of his videos where he would take trips with his friend to like the mountains to go snowboarding. And, you know, he was like creating designs, logo designs, snowboard designs and stuff like that for snowboarding. I know he created his own magazine, like in paper form, I think when he was in high school and stuff like that. And, you know, he actually worked with an actual you know, magazine company or something like that inside of the snowboarding industry. So I just thought that was all really dope. You know, I got a background in skateboarding, so, you know, it all kind of fits in, you know, so I can really relate to him on that level. Alright, so would I say that every designer should curate a blog on his or her website? So I would say yes and no. Like, you know, blogs are super important. Curating your work is far more important, in my opinion, than an actual blog. You know, there's tons of ways that you can do this. You know, you can do this by video. Personally, I love making videos. I like YouTube videos. I hate, you know, actually editing videos, but actually making them like this. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy being on the screen, and you guys get to see my facial expression, you know, and everything like this. You get to hear how it comes out of my mouth instead of just like reading it. You know, I hate reading personally. Again, I love watching videos. You get to hear, you get to watch. So from a personal standpoint, I love videos. Videos are better for me, I think. So I would say at the end of the day, it's really really about what you prefer and what you're best at. If you're really great at writing, by all means, start writing up blog posts, posting them everywhere, curating your work, things like that. But if you like videos and you're kind of like me, you like watching them and you also really want to make them and put yourself out there, then by all means, make some videos. Alright, so the best part of what I do, basically I'll stick to like mascot logos and you know, like sports logos for gaming and esports and stuff like that. So the best part about what I do has to be the sketching process. I love drawing more specifically, out of everything, you know, out of Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop. I love drawing the most, so my favorite part has to be sketching. You know, I've been sketching since elementary school, drawing since elementary school. So, you know, me and drawing, we go way back, you know, so that's my favorite part out of everything. And then part two has to be, you know, creating an awesome design that I really enjoy and also that my client loves even more. And then the last part has to be, you know, taking the logo design when it's done into Photoshop and having some more fun, just so I can, you know, create a cool presentation image, right? And then just share it with everybody on social media, you know, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, you know. So those are my 3 favorite parts of my process. Right, so one thing that I always carry with me, for the most part, it's like my wallet and then also my iPhone. So, you know, like without my iPhone, I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't know who you guys are. You wouldn't know who I am. You know, we wouldn't be making this video and things like that. So, yeah, my iPhone has to be top priority of everything. And I would say below that has to be my laptop. So my number 1 tip for attaining clients has to be, you know, it's very basic, very low level. It's like something that everybody can do. You know, it's really just creating awesome work that you enjoy, you know, whether it's producing music, whether you're a fashion designer, whether you want to create logos, you want to make bed sheets, like anything, you know, just create something awesome that you really enjoy and share it with the world. You know, try to get as many eyes on it as you can or as possible. And usually clients will begin to ask you questions about it, like, you know, do you do this as a job? Like, can I hire you to create something for me? And, you know, that's kind of like the basic level of starting out. You know, just create something awesome, share it, people will find it, people will begin to latch on, they'll begin to ask questions, clients will come as long as things are good to go. So what's lined up for me in the future? I want to say it's basically a similar answer to my last question. You know, just creating more awesome things and just sharing them with the world. You know, I really just want to create dope stuff and just share it with people, you know, from artwork to, you know, logo designs, mascot logos, and also music. So yeah, that's what's lined up for me from like this mind frame right now. most inspiring person. This is another great question, a hard question to answer. Like, I watch so many interviews on a day-to-day basis. I'm always like looking up to successful people, wanting to hear more about their story, how they did what they did. From like Oprah to Tai Lopez to Tony Robbins to Will Smith, to his wife, to his son, everybody. I really just enjoy watching all this kind of stuff and just hearing interviews, just looking for like things to take from them and just like implement into my life. So, at this point in time, like I recently watched an interview from Vin Diesel, and so The Fast and the Furious has to be my favorite movie series. So anyways, he's been acting since he's 7 years old, right? So, and he's, I don't know how old he is now, but now he's, fairly successful. I think he's got like 90 million followers on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, he's came a long way from being 7 years old. So I know like when he was very young, like he had always had the goal of becoming a star, like a famous actor, right? So I remember at one point in the interview, he was like, he was reflecting, like he was saying that, if he didn't become a star by the age of 18, then he was gonna, quit the business. He was gonna stop acting, right? So he said one thing led to another. 18 turned into 20, turned into his mid-20s, and then he got to a point, where he was still struggling. He wasn't making any money. He didn't have health care. According to like what he was saying, I think you have to make $7,000 to get health care. So he wasn't making that much from, his acting and stuff like that. So there was one movie that he did, Saving Private Ryan, and he finally got paid for that movie, and that was when he was 30 years old. So if you just think about, just sit on that for a minute. Like he was started when he was 7 to 30. So I guess you could say he finally made it when he was 30 years old. That's a long time. You do the math. That's really inspirational for me and anyone out there who wants to do something, who's just thinking like, man, it's gonna take so long. It's like this man went from 7 to 30 and he didn't quit. Like he kept going, man. Like he had the confidence, he had the patience, had the self-belief. He kept going, and look at him now, man. Like my favorite movie series. That's just like a crazy story for me. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy that, and check it out if you can on YouTube. Alright, so this last question, I wanted to spread it to as many people as possible, so I'm not going to focus on logo design or anything like that. So, because I believe it's all the same for everyone. So, at the end of the day, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that it's possible for us. If you don't believe that you can do something, you're not going to try as hard. You're not going to put the amount of effort that it takes into it, and you're going to make yourself right. So, if you believe that you can do something, it's possible. It's going to happen. But if you believe that you can't, then don't even try. You're just going to waste your time. There's like a quote from Henry Ford. It says, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. And I like to switch it up to whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you are right. So, I believe that I could create logo designs. Here I am creating them for clients and stuff like that, creating dope stuff. And it's all because I believed that I could do it, and I started as soon as I can, which leads to the next part is we have to be impatiently patient. We have to be impatient to get started. So if there's something you want to do, start as soon as you can, because today is the youngest you're going to be for the rest of your life. Tomorrow you're going to be older. You don't know how long you're going to be here. So start as soon as you can. And then we have to remember, once we do get started, we have to be patient on our journey, because it is going to be a journey. It is going to take time. It's not going to be easy. So we have to be patient with ourselves. So we have to be patient on how long it takes, and be patient on, like our process, So if you want to learn a new skill and it's taking long, just be patient with yourself, keep going, and don't give up. As long as you believe that it's possible for you, I truly believe that it's going to happen. So that's kind of like my message for anybody who wants to do anything. Hopefully the last answer as well about Vin Diesel, that story was inspiration enough. Like if you want to do something, then just go do it and believe in yourself at the end of the day. And I'm also shouts to Tai Lopez for the impatiently patient tip. I got that from him, and I love that thing. Being patient to get started and patient when you do get started. And also shouts to anybody else that I mentioned in this interview. And lastly, shouts to Logo Inspirations for featuring me in this interview. I do appreciate it, guys. So again, it's Derrick here from daysdesigns.com. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Take care. Again, guys, it is Derrick here from daysdesigns.com. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at daysdesigns, and I hope you guys enjoy. Take care.